All right, welcome back. We got our week one matchups, previews, and predictions here for you. You want to start us off with the Upstate Conference there, Shane?
Yeah, we'll start off with our first game. Durant at Milledgeville. Milledgeville is looking to start off strong so they can get to that 5 victory mark. We'll see what happens with playoff points if that's down the road, but it all starts with Durant. My personal opinion, Milledgeville wins this going away. It's going to be a long bus ride home for Durant.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. I think with Milledgeville bringing everybody back, Durant very low on numbers, possibly even needing to bring up underclassmen. I believe Milledgeville definitely wins this by a couple scores. All right, that brings us to our next game, which is River Ridge at Polo. What do you think about that matchup, Shane?
Well, I really like Polo in this matchup, but going back to River Ridge, we talked, it's going to be a hard year for them, but if they can somehow, break this game down by quarters, can you win the first quarter? Can you get to halftime not too far down? I think River Ridge can make the game smaller to make it a game, but I don't see any way they beat Polo.
I agree with you. I mean, River Ridge definitely needs to come out in the game. Like you said, they need to try to win quarters, series, whatever they need to do to keep it close. But in the end, I think Polo's just got way too much for River Ridge.
Our next game takes us to Stockton, where the Orangeville Broncos will be taking on the Stockton Blackhawks. How do you think this will go, Kyle?
Well, be honest, I mean, Orangeville, we already mentioned that they have line issues. Very good quarterback, very good wide receivers. But Stockton's got a lot of returners coming back off of a team that lost in the second round last year. I feel that Stockton will control this game from the onset.
Yeah, I don't want to talk bad about Orangeville, but I wouldn't be surprised to see that clock run in the second half.
I could see that. I mean, last year it wasn't a really close game, but I mean it was within 3 scores. But
another year of experience.
Another year of experience could go a long way, and maybe Orangeville does play with Stockton a little bit better than we anticipated. I just don't see it happening this week. All right, this brings us to the northwest side of the conference, where the very first game, some people could see this as the game of the week. We don't have it listed as our game of the week, but we have Amboy at Galena. What do you think about that one, Shane?
I think Amboy very well could give Galena a run for their money. I don't see Galena running away with this, and I don't see Amboy running away with this. I think this is going to be a hard-fought game from start to finish.
Yeah, I mean, Amboy was 2-7 last year. Galena was 7-3. Big difference in records there, but you got Amboy coming out of the Three Rivers Conference, and I feel they're definitely going to be ready to play. The game is in Galena, though, so I think Galena is going to win this game by a score.
And I do agree Galena will win this game.
All right. Next game is going to be West Carroll at Dakota. What do you think about that one there, Shane?
Some people think that, West Carroll is going to be revitalized, recharged. They got something to build on, which is very true. We talked about that in our preseason predictions and everything about West Carroll, and the same with Dakota. They both have a lot to prove, but however, I don't think West Carroll has enough to play with Dakota at this point.
I agree with you. I mean, we did mention West Carroll's up and coming, but we also mentioned that West Carroll has problems with the upper tier of the Northwest Conference. They always have. They have good coaching there. I just don't see it's enough to get over the Indians in Dakota, especially at the start of the year. You look back at what they did at the same game last year in Savannah. Dakota ran away with that one. I see it being pretty close to much of the same. I think Dakota's going to win this one by 3 scores.
Wow, bold prediction, but I love it.
Yeah. That brings us to the next Northwest game, which is going to be East Dubuque at Pecatonica.
And, I talked about it earlier. This might be Pecatonica's chance to get that lone victory. East Dubuque has a long bus ride there. It's early. It's the first game of the season. Kids might not be ready to go. We're approaching the end of August. It very well could be 90 degrees. We don't know. I mean, that's a tough thing to overcome. If it is hot, long bus ride, it's easy for kids not to be focused. And, Peck's going to be fired up. They feel like they got a lot to prove. There's a lot of hype on, preseason videos of Pecatonica at this point. But, I still like East Dubuque on the road.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. I think East Dubuque's going to get this one by a score. If Pecatonica does pull it out, I would not be surprised. This is definitely their the game that's going to get them going, basically jumpstart their engine. If they can get this win over East Dubuque, I just don't see it happening. I think East Dubuque's going to win this one by a score.
And that'll take us to our crossover match, where the Forston Cardinals will be playing at AFC. What do you think about this?
Well, this is kind of a tough one, but not really at the same time. Forston put it to AFC pretty good last year in the opener in Forston. With the AFC losing quite a bit of players from last year's team, Forston basically bringing back everybody, I think Forston's going to take it by 3 scores, if not more.
Yeah, and I like Forston on the road. It's just going to come down to questioning whether Forston gets off to a good start. You know, sometimes over the years, Forston hasn't always gotten off to a strong start. You know, you look at last year, you know, Dakota came to town and throttled them, but, you know, when it mattered, Forston was able to win that game. So, you know, about Forston, you know, we've predicted them to win the Northwest. It's all about getting off the bus and doing what you're there. You're there on a business trip. You know, you get going.
Yeah, absolutely, and you're absolutely right about Forston and slow starts. You've seen it in so many games over the years. Even their state championship year, they've had a few games where you were expecting a running clock blowout type game,
right.
And it was an actual ball game that took place because they just didn't get all the gears revved up. So this brings us to our upstate game of the week. Aquin at Warren. What do you think about that matchup there?
You know, I love what Warren's doing. You know, I got to ride the home team here. I think Warren's going to put it together. You know, it's going to be the start for a very good season. You know, what I have predicted them to come in second place, you know, and I think it all gets going against Aquin.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you on that. I don't have them coming in second place, but I do feel that Warren has enough to get by Aquin this year. It is one of them games where I could see Aquin coming to town and taking care of business because Aquin has a lot of seniors on their team.
Right.
But I think Warren's got the right mojo going. I think they're going to get it done. I got them winning by a score.
And this is another game, you know, where if Aquin does win, you know, this could propel them, you know, to playing with Polo, playing with Stockton as the year goes on. You know, this is a good confidence game.
For either side.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. So our Northwest game of the week is going to be the LenaWinslow Panthers at the EPC Wildcats. What's your takeaway on that one?
You know, and we looked at these games on what we wanted to do for our game of the week, and this isn't so much about close scores as it is a rivalry. You know, what is it, 9 miles apart from Pearl City to Lena.
Right.
You know, that Illinois 73 matchup. You know, I love what Lena is going to be able to do in this game. You know, we've talked about EPC being a tough game. Now, Lena's going to have to get off the bus and be ready to play. There's no doubt about it. The EPC Wildcats get up to play big games against Lena. And I think that's going to be important for Lena to stick to their game plan and get off the bus ready to go.
Yeah, I agree. EPC is definitely going to be much more improved over last year. They're going to be obviously 1 year older than they were last year. Definitely always been a physical team. Coach Ashley always has them kids prepared, ready to play the best football that they can, as does Coach Aaron at LenaWinslow. I feel LenaWinslow's got more size, more speed, more overall talent to put this game away. And I think you're looking at least a 3-score game here.
Right.
What game you taking in this week, Shane?
Well, I'm going to be in Dakota for the West Carroll Thunder coming to town. If you see me at the game, stop by, say hi, ask any questions. We'll do the best we can, you know, to get your questions answered on our next segment. How about you?
Carrie and I are going to head over to Pearl City Friday night. We're going to take in the LenaWinslow EPC game. Not sure where we'll be standing at this point in time, but if you do see us there, feel free to stop by, say hi, shoot us a message or something, and let us know where you'll be. We'll be there. Till then, we'll see you around.